Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition on Mother's Day. Mother's Day to me is very, very hard. Mother's Day and Christmas Day, because Christmas Day was my mother's birthday, and of course, Mother's Day. um, I lost my mom 6 years ago. January 6th would have been 6 years ago. And she was the world to me. When I started my drag career, I say probably 15 years ago. Oh, I just told my age, didn't I? About 15 years ago, started my drag career, and so my mom, she was open. She came to every single show. She had um, or should I say, she was on disability and Social Security, and so she didn't have a whole lot of money. She got paid once a month, but let me tell you, she made it to every single show. There were some times she came with her walker. There were some days she was able to walk, but she was there. And I don't know how she did it, but I had like 3 shows a week, and she was there every time with $20 in ones. That was $60 a week, $240 a month that she was able to spend. And she had bills. She had all this stuff she had to pay for. And I still to this day, I don't know how she was able to afford that, but she did. And so, if any of you know drag queens, we got tips, dollar bills. And anytime she showed up, everybody always had a little spot for her. They were like, "This is Miss Cox's spot," because my name was Anita Cox back then, and so everybody was like, "This is Mrs. Cox's spot," and so she had a gastric bypass surgery, which was 100% success. And she had lost about 90 pounds from it. She was looking good. Her goal was to get back into the skate rink and go around the skate rink one more time. And she was on a successful path for that. And then I would say probably about 7 months, 8 months, I say. She was having problems with her shoulder, which she has for years because she was in a car wreck, and so she needed a shoulder replacement, and so she was like, she came to me. She's like, "Marquise, I'm going to have one more surgery, and this will be it for Mama. And I was like, all right. And, she went and had the surgery, and the surgery was a success as well. And, she had the surgery on Wednesday, and so I got a phone call Thursday, and from my brother, and said, get to the hospital because Mom's not looking good. Okay. All right. So I raced to the hospital, and so she was okay. She just was out of it, but she didn't really look well. She was shaking really bad, and so I sat there for a couple hours with her, talked to her for a little bit, but she was in and out of it, from that medicine that they gave her. And so when I got ready to leave, I told her that I loved her, and I told her goodbye, but I did not know that I was saying goodbye to her forever. I went home, and so that was Thursday. Friday, Saturday night, she came home. She came home. The doctors felt she was well enough to come home, and I had a party that night, and I'm trying to think, did I talk to her? No, I didn't. But I was going to go see her the next day, which was Sunday, because I knew that she was home. And so Sunday morning, it's probably about 8:30 in the morning, I got a phone call from my brother, and he said, Antoine's my real name, by the way. And so he said, Antoine, you need to get to the hospital. Mom was just rushed to the hospital. So I got dressed, and I was on my way. I got about 4 blocks down the road, and he called me back, and he said, he was crying, and he said, Mom's gone. And so I was like, there was nothing you could say to me at that moment. I pulled over, and I took a moment to just realize what had just been said to me. And so instead of going to the hospital right away, I went back to my house because I was roommates with my brother. And we had a party. So he was a truck driver, so he slept in his truck that night. And I banged on his truck door, and so I was yelling his name. He came out, and so I just collapsed in his arms, and I said, Mom's gone, Mom's gone, Mom's gone. And he was like, oh my God, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And so it was the worst day of my life. And so I know it's not my fault, but I always sit here and say, if I didn't have that party, I wouldn't have seen her the day before. To actually say, I love you again. But the moral of the story is, everyone has a mother, of course. If you talk to your mom, if you see your mom, take this day, ladies and gentlemen, call them, tell them that you love them, tell them that thank you, and tell them that you appreciate the person that they made. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. And so I just want to take just a couple of more moments of your time to show you some pictures of my mom in her happy moments, and also one of the contestants had submitted a picture of her and her mom that I want to show you as well. And so this was my mom, and I keep this with me, just so I know that she's there. Love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play